My dear students, today I will tell you how to design a canal. And this topic is design of canals, and there are two methods of design that are in your course. The first method is Kennedy's theory and second method is Lacey's theory. So I will begin this topic with Kennedy's theory, and as you can see on the screen that this theory was being developed by an executive engineer of Punjab Irrigation Department in the British time, and his name was Kennedy. That is why his theory is being named after him as Kennedy's theory. His work was purely an experimental work, and the work which he performed was on Upper Badi Doab canal system, which was earlier in the undivided India, but now after the division of the country it has gone in Pakistan side. Now two things I would like to explain to you here. This word Upper Badi Doab canal, what is the meaning of Doab? First let me explain to you. Doab means two waters. This is a Persian word. Do means two, as you know. Ab means water. So this is a piece of land bounded by two rivers. So it is known as Doab. Similarly, Punjab. Have you ever thought about it? Why this state is being named as Punjab? If you make it separate, it is Panj Ab. Panj means five, and Ab, I have told you, it means water, means it is a land of five waters, means five rivers. Five rivers flow through this state. That is why it has been named as Panj Ab, and if we combine it, we call it Punjab. So this is the explanation of the word Doab. Now Badi means big, you know, it's nothing new in it. Now upper canal. What is the concept of this upper canal and lower canal? Let me explain to you this thing. Suppose this is a river from which one canal is taking off at this point, and the direction of flow of the river is this, and another canal is taking off from this point. Understand? So this canal will be known as upper canal, and this will be called as lower canal. For example, if you take the Ganga river, the canal which offtakes from Haridwar will be known as Upper Ganga canal, and the canal which offtakes from Ganga at Narora will be known as Lower Ganga canal. So in Aligarh you have got the irrigation office for Lower Ganga canal. You might have seen while passing through Dodhpur and University area. Now the sites selected by him did not require any silt clearance for more than 30 years, and thus was supposed to be flowing with non-silting and non-scouring velocity. Now this non-silting and non-scouring, this word also needs some explanation. Okay, 1 minute. I remember once I have told you regarding this word scouring and silting. Silting means deposition of material on the bed of canal, and scouring is reverse of it. It is the erosion of material from bed and side, that can be called as scouring, and silting is the deposition of material on bed and side of the canal. So the experimental work which he did on this canal, Upper Badi Doab canal, was non-silting and non-scouring canal. There was neither silting taking place nor scouring was taking place in that canal. Then he said that the silt supporting power of a canal is dependent upon the generation of eddies from the bed of the canal. Now let me explain to you this sentence. इसका क्या मतलब है? What are eddies? The eddies are formed due to flow of water, and it is a circular motion of water starting from bed and it moves in the upward direction. So the silt which is flowing in the canal, the weight of the silt tries to bring it down, but the eddies which rise from bed in the upward direction support this silt from downward and doesn't allow its silting. They try to move these sediments in they try to move this silt in the upward direction. The weight of the silt tries to bring it down. So the net result is that the silt is kept in suspension. Now he said that the eddies which rise from the bed, they support the silt to keep it in suspension, and he neglected the eddies which rise from the sides of the canal. जो बेड से निकल रही हैं एडीज, उन्हीं को उन्होंने सिर्फ कंसिडर किया. एंड ही सेड दैट द एडीज विच राइज फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ द कैनाल are purely horizontal and they don't have any silt supporting power. But he was wrong in his assumption. Actually, the silt which rise from the sides of the canal, just we'll see, which rise from the sides of the canal, they are not purely horizontal, but they are normal to the surface. They are perpendicular to the surface. So, as they are perpendicular to the surface, they can be resolved in two directions: vertical direction and horizontal direction. Let me explain to you by means of a figure. Suppose this is the cross section of a canal. Usually the canal is in trapezoidal shape. So he said the eddies, they rise from the bed and they keep the silt in suspension. And what he said, that the eddies which rise from the sides, they are horizontal and they don't have any silt supporting power. But actually these eddies are perpendicular to the surface. So you can resolve this eddy into two directions, one horizontal direction, another in vertical direction. Of course, this horizontal component of the eddies will not be able to support the silt, but this vertical component of the eddies will be responsible to keep the silt in suspension, which he neglected. वो उन्होंने नेग्लेक्ट कर दिया. So this was one of the drawback of Kennedy's theory. Then he said that based upon his conclusions, his observations, he concluded that the silt supporting power of a canal is mainly dependent upon the generation of eddies rising from the surface, base to the surface. These eddies are generated due to friction of flow of water with the surface. The eddies at the bed tries to move the sediment up, while the weight of the sediment tries to bring it down, thus keeping the silt in suspension. He finally concluded that silt supporting power is proportional to the bed width of the canal. This is what I told you, that he said that the eddies which rise from the bed, they are these eddies which rise from the bed, they are responsible to keep the silt in suspension only. So he neglected the vertical component of the eddies. Kennedy also defined the critical velocity, non-silting, non-scouring velocity V naught in the canal as the mean velocity which would just keep the canal free from silting and scouring. He related the critical velocity V naught to the depth of flow by the following equation. देखिए उसके बाद फिर इन्होंने एक वेलोसिटी की इक्वेशन दी. पहली बात तो ये कही कि सिल्ट सपोर्टिंग पावर जो है वो बेड विड्थ के प्रोपोर्शनल है, एंड ही निगलेक्टेड द एडीज कमिंग आउट फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ द कैनाल. वो एक ड्रॉबैक थी, वो एक अलग बात हो गई. अब उसके बाद उन्होंने एक इक्वेशन दी और उस इक्वेशन का नाम दिया इन्होंने क्रिटिकल वेलोसिटी फ्लो इक्वेशन, या उस वेलोसिटी का नाम क्रिटिकल वेलोसिटी दिया जो V नॉट इस इक्वेशन में आपको दिख रही है. ही रिलेटेड दिस वेलोसिटी जो कि नॉन सिल्टिंग नॉन स्कावरिंग वेलोसिटी है, मीन्स इट इज़ द वेलोसिटी एट विच नाइदर स्कावरिंग विल टेक प्लेस नॉर सिल्टिंग विल टेक प्लेस. मतलब ये ऐसी वेलोसिटी है जिससे न तो सिल्टिंग होगी इस वेलोसिटी के ऊपर, न स्कावरिंग होगी. द चैनल विल बी फ्री फ्रॉम बोथ दीज प्रॉब्लम्स. अच्छा साहब, तो he related this critical velocity V naught to the depth of flow by this relation, which you can see here. V naught is equal to 0.55 d to the power 0.64. Then what he said? He said that his equation carries universal application. What does this mean? This means that his equation can be applied anywhere in the world. It is applicable universally, although it was an empirical equation. You can see here, this equation is dimensionally incorrect. On one side you have velocity, another side you have depth. So this cannot be a rational equation, and only rational equations have got universal application. जो rational equations होती हैं उन्हीं का application universal होता है. In any part of the world you can apply the rational equation, but not the empirical equation. I told you earlier also that the empirical equations have got regional effects also. उसमें regional application का एक restriction होता है कि these are applicable for that region from where it has been derived. तो उन्होंने जब ये इतना बड़ा क्लेम कर दिया, he made a very big claim for his equation, that his equation carries universal application. So the scientists all over the world, they started working on his equation, and they were trying to verify the applicability of that equation in their areas. That if it is applicable universally, then it should be applicable in Australia also, in UK, in USA, Canada, everywhere it should be applicable. So the scientists over there, they started working on the applicability and validity of this equation in other parts of the world, although it was derived in some part of Punjab on a canal, Upper Badi Doab Canal. And they found that this equation was not applicable anywhere except the canal on which it was derived, except the area for which where it was derived, it was not applicable anywhere. And this the scientists, they reported this shortcoming of the equation of Kennedy to Mr. Kennedy, and when Mr. Kennedy came to know the shortcomings of his equation, then he realized his shortcoming, and he introduced a factor m in his equation. Actually, in his equation there was no mention of any type of soil. means there was no effect of any type of soil in his ratio. It was dependent only on the depth of flow in the canal. So he introduced a factor m, which he called as critical velocity ratio. In short, we can call it CVR, critical velocity ratio. The values of m depends upon the type of soil, because the type of soil will also be responsible for the velocity of flow in the canal. So he introduced this factor m, and he gave the value of m from 0.7 to 1.3. Now here a note is given that in case any problem is given to you, and in that problem the value of m is not given to you, then it can be assumed as 1. Okay, and what is this ratio m? He called critical velocity ratio, and this m is equal to v upon v naught. Here you can see m is equal to v upon v naught, where v is the actual velocity of flow given by Cutter's equation, and v naught is the critical velocity given by Kennedy's equation. Now what is v? The actual velocity of flow. The actual velocity of flow is given by v is equal to c under root rs. You might have read this equation in hydraulics, where this equation is usually called as Chazy's equation. Chazy's equation, and in this equation r is the hydraulic radius, s is the slope of the channel, and c is a constant. Now the value of this constant c was given by Cutter. It was given by Cutter in an equation which I will tell you here. The value of this Chazy's constant was given by Cutter, and so sometimes this equation is also known as Cutter's equation, but actually this is the value of this n is given by Cutter's, and its value ranges from 0.0225 to 0.03. You see here this formula already, although it is looking like big, but it's not very difficult to remember it, because some terms are common, as you see here 0.00155 upon s. It is present here also. This 23 is here as well as here, so you can remember it. It's not a big problem. And this s is the longitudinal slope, it's written here, and then r is the hydraulic mean depth, and the value of n is given to you. Now Central Board of Irrigation and Power, CBIP, has also given the values of n on the basis of discharge. You can see up to 140 cubic discharge, this is the value, and from 140 to 280 0.0225, and 280 and above 0.03. So now here some defects of Kennedy's theory are being discussed. Two defects of Kennedy theory I have already discussed with you. One was that he neglected the eddies rising from the side of the canal, and said that these eddies are purely horizontal and they don't have any silt supporting power, and he considered only the eddies rising from the bed of the canal. This was one drawback. Second drawback was regarding the equation. The equation he gave, and he claimed universal application for his equation. That was his second drawback. Then the third and very important drawback of his theory is that he did not give any equation for the longitudinal slope of the canal, and this longitudinal slope of the canal is a very important factor as far as the flow of water is concerned. If by mistake you give faulty slope to the canal, then water will not flow in this canal, in any canal. Slope is such an important factor, and he missed this part, and he did not give any equation for the longitudinal slope of the canal. And what he said, that the slope of the canal will be decided as per the general slope of the area, means it will be decided as per the existing slope of the area, and this is a very vague idea to fix the slope of the canal. Now, by giving different slopes to design a canal for a particular discharge, discharge is fixed. Now, for one discharge, if you go on changing the slope, then you will be getting different cross sections for canal. One cross section for one slope for the same discharge. If you change the slope, another cross section will come to you. If you change the slope again, you will get another cross section. So hundreds of cross section can be obtained by changing the slope, and Kennedy did not give any idea that which of these section is the best for the canal. So this was a very big defect of Kennedy's theory. Now this defect already I have discussed, and now we have to go to actual design of canal and how the calculations will be done to find out the design and what is the meaning of design. But this part I will take up in the next lecture. Okay.